oh, that tastes like grass. Hey, good morning. I'm drinking a matcha tea and it straight tastes of like lawnmower. Super good. Good morning. I'm feeling a little bit better. My voice is coming back. It keeps going and coming and going, coming and going. Good morning. So yesterday, I was like resting my voice, not really talking that much. As you can hear, there's a little bit of a rasp to it still. And I'm even drinking tea instead of coffee. I love tea, but in the morning I prefer coffee. um, and I treated myself to tea because I've been drinking tea all week long. So I was like, oh, let me get a matcha tea, and I forgot. I only like matcha frappuccinos. Matcha tea just smells like someone just cut the grass, and that's exactly like how it tastes. So there's that. I like, okay, so there's a lot of different tea companies I like, but um there is at Awesome Con and at Shoreleaf, there's this like a small tea company, and they make butterbeer tea, like Harry Potter style. And whenever I see them, I buy me some, and I buy one of my close friends some that's a huge HP lover too. And I promise you, it's like the best tea. So when I make it, I usually make homemade like whipping cream with some vanilla in it, and I put it on top, and I only can imagine that's what butterbeer tastes like. It's nowhere as near as good as the stuff that they have at Universal Studios. And oh my God, Julie could tell you, I was probably addicted to that stuff, but it was good. Add some powdered ginger to your matcha. Okay, I'm gonna try that. Yeah, because it smells like a lawnmower, and I'm surprised I can smell because my nose has been congested. My husband is like, we got to figure out what we have to do for your congestion. I, at this point, think I have a sinus infection. I mean, I'm used to getting them, but I usually wait them out because when you have chronic sinuses, the doctor really wants you to wait 9 to 10 days. I was going to say business days too, 9 to 10 days before you go see them and start antibiotics, because you don't want to have antibiotics in your system so many times a year, because your body can start becoming resistant to it. And there's some antibiotics that can be more harmful than good. It might be helpful in that moment but cause harm later on. Like there's one particular antibiotics that can like mess up your Achilles or mess up this like muscle in the back of your leg, and it like, oh, it has happened frequently to people who are runners, and there's like horror stories over it. Like it's a rabbit hole. Trust me, get off here and just look up antibiotics and mess up your mess up mess up where you could possibly not walk. It is terrifying. So I know I tried. I took the COVID test. I don't have COVID. But see, with that, I okay, hear me out. I don't believe the COVID test can test for every variation of COVID. I know that sounds weird, but it has mutated somewhat. So I feel like, I don't know. I took the ones that we have at home, and I don't have COVID. So because that was my first thing, because I couldn't taste. I had dry mouth and my nose was stuffy. So I just automatically assumed, okay, God, I have COVID. And maybe Hope just gave it to me. Um, so I tested for that. I don't have it. I think I may just have a common cold that she caught at school. Hope thought she had strep throat, but we checked her throat. It wasn't red. It didn't have spots. Um, but we found out earlier last year that strep throat can be a digestion stomach problem, which we had no idea. I was like, I've been a parent 19 years and I just found out that strep throat can show in your gut and not actually show in your throat. Like it is a very weird thing. And I was like, what? I've been a mom for 19 years. No, yeah, no. So, okay, when you get off of me, look up strep throat and stomach pain, and it will blow your freaking mind. It will blow your mind. And just like we found out, my son is a carrier of strep, and that's why he's a carrier. And they could do like antibiotic treatments and like to try to get him out, but there's a greater chance that he'll just grow out of it. But we kept getting strep throat like over and over and over again, and we didn't understand why. We learned about carriers, and we also learned about we learned about um hold on one second. So I, we learned about carriers, and we learned about how strep throat can show through like being sick in your stomach. Oh man, the trolls be trolling today. They're like, Shnova, you weren't on yesterday, so guess what? We're coming today. So yeah. So yesterday with me being sick, I was like trying to figure out like what to watch. Me and my daughter are rewatching Big Bang. I've watched every episode of Big Bang like 100 times. But she likes Young Sheldon and she just finished Young Sheldon. She wants me to watch Young Sheldon and I'm like, I want her to watch Big Bang. So we started rewatching that. And it's pretty funny rewatching it and seeing her um like what she feels about it. And we're gonna rewatch Young Sheldon afterwards for her. Good morning. I don't know. There I've read different things about it. It's just that it could be that I come on and there's when you go on it's an algorithm thing. So when you're live, it suggests to other people that you're live. And if one troll gets it and it sees another troll have it, it's the same thing because it's not just me. I when I it it's really important to have like really observant moderation crew because if you really look at like okay, like I watched Kasaya's when she was giving away like tons of different gifts, like makes. She had trolls too, and then she had like Susan and all her other moderators like kicking people out. Sometimes they just come. They just come and it's just a team of people that can get the trolls and make them stop. That's all you can do. It's just part of the algorithm, the same algorithm that shows new people me as the same algorithm that shows trolls me. It's just part of the biz. So, and for me, I guess there's not a lot of people on in the morning. So they're like, guess what? All right. So I was watching, there's a couple things I'm about to blow your freaking mind. So I was messaging back and forth with my friend, and we were talking about something really stupid. I don't know. We were talking about like machines that can make carbonation. And I was telling her how I drink like carbonated water, like at least 2 or 3 bottles because I'm not drinking Cokes. I haven't had any sodas for over now almost a year. So, she was talking about like machines that you can make to make your own carbonation drinks. And she said that she made her own version of stuff. And I was like, you should try to make a Dr. Pepper or cream soda. And she was like, yeah, I'm making carbonation water. And I was like, I usually just buy the Safeway brand because they're like 98 cents. And you're like, Snow, what the hell are you talking about? I went into my on the phone and I put 98, and your girl's sitting here scrolling for cents. I go into the dollar sign, exclamation point, and everything. There are no cents. So I was like, hey, check your phone and see if you have the symbol for cents. And she's like, I don't. We and her both have Androids. And I was like, if this is an Android feed, I'm never going to hear the end of this. So I'm going to text Kendall. I'm like, Kendall, do you have the symbol for cents? I see the three dots going back and forth, back and forth. And he's like, no. I'm like, so you mean to tell me these kids who got phones probably like 2 years ago may never know what the symbol of sense is? Check your phones. Pretend you're going to put a message to me. There's no sense symbol. I have asked people who have Google Pixel iPhones, there is no sense symbol in there. They eliminate it. And I went on a spiral after that. Like, so I asked my youngest, I was like, Kendall, if I say this is underneath the dollar, what would you say? Oh, it's 99 cents. I'm like, what is the cent symbol? And he's like, there's a symbol. Yeah, so that's what I was doing yesterday when I was sick. I was trying to figure out where the hell the cent symbol. And also, I was watching like this YouTube documentary about tipping culture, and I didn't know how to feel afterwards. Yeah, isn't it weird? Yes, I know. That's weird, right? It's a weird thing. And I'm like, how do we not know? And how is this not like on NPR or something? So you're right, Amber, you're right. You would have to do $ 0.98. But where did the cents go? I see the euro one too with the two slash, but no. Isn't that weird? That is so weird. So like, and I was like, God, if it's an Apple thing and Apple has it and we don't, I'm never gonna hear the end of it, because our house is a great division of Androids versus Apple. There's 2 Androids and three Apple users, and they were like, no, we don't have it either. Yeah, you gotta. That's weird, right? Give us back our cents. So that's it. And then so from there, somehow when me like going on YouTube spiraling on this about sense, there is videos about it in their recent videos, because they're like, with all these new updates, they're eliminating certain symbols that you think that we don't need anymore because we're not using. So it got into tipping culture, and it was a person talking about, do you, when you go through Wendy's and you order your hamburger like a mushroom dog but no mustard, no this and this and that, do you tip the person afterwards? And I was like, no, I've never tipped a Wendy's person ever. If there is a tip jar, I'll put something in it. And they're like, why do you tip a Starbucks person then? And I was like, well, because they're like a bartender, right? Like, but the more the guy was doing the argument, and I was like, maybe I'm secretly tipping them because I don't want them to spit in my drink. I don't know. Like, why are you judging me? So like, I was like, I always tip a waitress. I always tip like someone that cuts my hair. But his argument was, if you don't tip McDonald's people, like Wendy's, Subway, why are you tipping Starbucks? Because they're technically a fast food chain as well. And I'm like, dude. So this is what I was doing yesterday, trying to figure out where the cents were, literally my own cents, metaphorically and literally. And going down a train of tipping culture. Because they were saying, it started also, they were saying in California, there's a, like the froyos, like you do self-serve, and when you go to check out, they won't let you check out unless you put a tip or say no tip. And I'm like, but if you're self-serving, why would you tip? Like, I'm not understanding. And the reason why this is sparking such a huge debate is that the lady that ordered DoorDash to the her hotel, she didn't put a tip. She wanted to get her food first to make sure it was hot, and then she would tip. Because she gave like a $4 or $5 tip, that woman came back with her boyfriend, and they stabbed her 14 times in front of her daughter. It's all over the news. So they're talking about tipping culture, and I'm like, this is scary. And then there's some news broadcasters that are like, oh, you better tip your DoorDash people. Ha ha ha. And then there's other people like, no, we need to do something about this. That is, who stabs somebody over a tip? 2025 starting with the bang. So I lost my sense. We need that. Yeah. And maybe we can have it like someone's head, like it's thinking, and have the sense in there so it could be metaphorically and physically. Yeah. You can't accept hits. You pass it on to the fellow crew members. Yes. Yes, and some things you can't do it. But like it was so it's a very weird thing because they had the pros and the cons and they had different people. I've always tipped Starbucks people because when I was in college, I had two friends that were like manager, one's a manager and one was like an assistant manager at two different Starbucks. And they said that working at Starbucks is like equivalent of working at a bartender as a bartending job. And it's incredibly brutal. People are so rude there. You have people that will come back and say you didn't do my drink right and all that, and because of that I tip them because I never thought of them as the same thing as McDonald's. But at the same token, like at the same time, if you're going through the drive-through or like if you're pre-ordering your drink, let's say you're pre-ordering your drink and you're picking it up through the drive-through or you're walking in, do you tip them? Because you do the same thing at Caesar's Pizza. Pizza. Like I'm gonna get a pepperoni pizza. I want extra cheese. I want this. I want pepperoni, pineapple. Do not put pineapple on your pizza, okay? It does not belong. Pineapple's not supposed to be hot. Okay, that's for you, Kindle. That was for you. So like you put all this stuff on. Do you tip them if you're going to pick up your own pizza? See, Arnetta got it. It's being phased out. That is so freaking weird. That it all started off of a conversation about carbonated water. I know. And oh my God. But the lady got stabbed 14 times in front of her toddler daughter. And honestly, she made sense. She said, I've had DoorDash in the past, and when we order food, the food would be cold. And I don't mind tipping. I just want to get the pizza in hand, feel it if it's hot, and make sure it's right, and I will tip them. So she gave them a tip when they got there. But it wasn't to what the lady liked. So she came back with her boyfriend. I guess she knocked on the door and she was like, oh, we forgot to do XYZ. And she stabbed the woman 14 times with her boyfriend in front of her child for a tip. This matcha really tastes like grass, like wheatgrass. It's the best. Yeah, the sanitation thing. And there was one lady, so then it got me on TikTok. There was like there was Uber drivers talking about how they treat people about not tipping. There was one saying if you don't tip her in the higher bracket, that she'll purposely leave something out on your order. And she's like, thank you, and she's eating the food. And you're like, what? I don't know what to say on that. Like it's weird because I do believe tips are necessary because like waitresses and waiters, they get paid nothing. I understand that they choose this job, but a lot of people choose this job because they can have an opportunity of making more money a day than others. And some waiters and waitresses, they've been over backwards to help you. So I believe in tipping them. I believe in tipping your hairdresser. Now I do believe hairdressers need to have a fixed price where they don't need to have a tip, because there's always a Scrooge McDuck. That's just call a spade a spade. But I believe in tipping someone that, like, for me, if you can cut my curly fro and it looks good, I'm gonna tip you because not everyone can do my hair right. Um, I do believe in tipping, like if you have a really awesome nail tech and stuff like that, that's not trying to charge you $120 for a manicure and a pedicure. What's going on, man? This is why I don't get those. All right. So like I believe in tipping people, but I don't believe that it should be mandatory or like placed in front of you like tip me, and then everyone in the drive-thru is looking at you like, are you going to tip? And you're like, no pressure, I guess. Yeah, it isn't. You're right, Nikki. There isn't very much of an entitlement raining down, and they know. I know Starbucks has a hard time, but it's not all of them. It's those people that are making the actual drinks that are like they deserve a tip, not the cash register people or the friendly face. The people that are in the background with the towel, like, oh yeah, shimming and shaking, like doing cocktails and stuff. They're they're the ones. They're the bartenders of the coffee world. Um, But man, I was like, I guess this that was a rabbit hole I went through from finding that sense is being eliminated to finding out that someone got stabbed 14 times in front of a child because of a tip, and finding out that about tip culture is a real topic in 2025, and a lot more people are talking about it and wanting to boycott like industries or like facilities or whatever that are making people look at paying a tip first. So that's like the Froyos or even the Starbucks, because before you swipe your card, they have a tip thing right in front of your face. And I think that's why a lot of people um choose to pre-order from them, not only for the points, because then they could just you can just say, I'm picking up for Shinova, you grab your drink and you don't have to worry about the tip. You can get asked for a tip later on in the app and you can just completely ignore it. But it's it's a really weird thing. And they don't even get the tip. The way their tips are like divided amongst the staff is very weird. I know, Meryl, you're right. Like, I mean, what I don't know what was going through that person's mind. Like, dude, she didn't tip me. Let's come back and let's commit a capital crime. And in this day and age, like, if I'm gonna be honest, like, if this was like in the day and age where there was no cell phones and no like video equipment, yeah, you can get away with it. Like, but as soon as there was video equipment from everywhere in the world, it doesn't it's like Minority Report. There's no way you're gonna get away with it. Like, why do it? There's no way. Just be mad. Just be like, oh, if I ever get her again, I'm just gonna come really late in with frozen food or whatever. But like, I don't understand. Like, you knew you were gonna get away with it. I don't know. There's reason you know like cruises at the end of your trip you have to give a list of how much to tip. You what? With mm-mm. What how much mental illness is treated in our oh yeah, it's not. You could tell somebody like you're depressed and they'll be like, girl, me too. And you're like, no, I'm on medicine and I see a therapist and a psychiatrist for it. And they're like, oh, I see someone online. And you're like, is it the same? is, is it the same? No, and then people do also look at you weird. Like when I'm very open and transparent, I see a therapist, I see a psychiatrist and psychologist, you name it. I'm very transparent, but I have my bouts of depression, anxiety a lot. Um I can have my depression states in a very weird time, and I'm always self-doubting myself and whatever, and I have a therapist that I'm working these out with, and I've been working out with for a very long time. I've been seeing a therapist, I wanna say now for, like, 10 years, um, and people don't take it serious. They think it's not, like, I was watching this poor thing where this guy, he doesn't even go out of the house with his service dog because his service dog is there for his anxiety, and people wanna pet it and do everything, and he was having a straight panic attack on a plane, and, a kid wanted to pet the dog, and he was in the middle of his panic attack, and he couldn't say anything, and the dad goes off on him, like, my daughter just wants to pet your dog," but he was in the middle of a panic attack, like, he couldn't breathe, and it was, like, the stewardess that was like, he's clearly in distress right now," and the dog starts, cuddling him, rubbing his neck up and whatever, and I'm like, people want to it's a hidden it's a hidden disability that nobody wants to take seriously. Because you can't physically see it, people wanna pretend it's not real. Yeah. Oh, yeah, or you're right about that too, Nikki. There's people that I think there are people that pretend they have it just to get out of trouble. I do think there's people that pretend to have it so they can relate to people more. I do believe there are people that have it just feel they feel like they're a part of the group or a part of a clique. But and I honestly do believe that because like it's really weird. When I had 80, I got diagnosed with ADD and ADHD in like elementary school, and nobody in my class had it. Like not one person. Like everybody knew I had it in school, and like nobody else had it. But like it's weird now that I'm an adult. Like everybody and their mama has it, and I'm just like, how the hell did I grow up and went through all this? Like I was in California. I was in San Clemente. No one had it. Like I would have to go to therapy in the school about it, about and no one had it. And now everybody has it. And the thing is that my psychiatrist says that there's so many people that self-diagnose and never actually all you have to ask them is like what medication are you on? How many times do you see a therapist and like they start stumbling for answers? Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, me too, me too." Yeah, I've had it for a long time, and I told a lot of people I was undiagnosed because ADHD back in the 80s and 90s was a devil. So, mom, don't watch this episode. Okay. So, it all depends, like, it also depends on the culture that you are. I'm Black and Hispanic, and it's not something that it's not something that's easily talked about in this culture, either one. So, after I had postpartum with my first child really bad, really, really, really bad. Like I can't even talk about it. Like it will bring me back into whatever. I was so afraid that I was going to have it again with my second. I didn't. I kind of had it with my third, and that's what made me decide to start talking to a therapist permanently. And it took me about 4 years talking to a therapist to actually say, do I need to be medicated? And them saying yes. So I think it's a process. And when I hear people just like self-diagnose and not actually getting help, it's frustrating. It's like when you see someone with like really straight hair and they're like, my hair is curly too, and you're like, really? Okay. So, sure. I think service dogs are a freaking blessing, and I think that they're these anxiety dogs, the things that they can do to relieve anxiety are amazing. And yet, and that is right. There are all different kinds of depression. There are. I know. I lived in Aliso Vale too. I went to Aliso Vale High School when it first opened. I just aged myself tremendously. Um, Aliso Vale was the first Aliso Vale Middle School and Aliso Vale High School was the first one in Orange County to have like a middle school because it used to have like 0 to 8th grade, and then middle school was 6th, 7th, 8th. Just aged myself. So, and let's talk about other fun stuff other than tipping culture and losing our mother sense. I got a more Mino package. So, as you guys know, the Gabriella So is the project one. And I waited kind of late to get it, but today's a cutout, if I'm not mistaken, with Brittany and how I know your name, Lauren. Okay. So I got the thing, and then I got the kit. I wanted to show it to you. So first things first. This, I think this goes inside the bag. I'm not gonna lie to you, I might put another one because I have plans for this one. But the exterior is this black luxe accessory weight. It's really pretty, and this can sew up on domestic or industrial. And then the kit comes, you can add on like zipper tape and like whatever. So I just clicked onto everything that you could add on because whenever I get a project thing, I just want everything that's in there. So in the kit, you get the hardware, which is, it looks like a wide mouth slider, magnetic snaps, 2 solo hooks, and 2 D-rings, and they're all 3/4 of an inch. And look at this beauty. This is absolutely gorgeous. Is this that waterproof canvas or waterproof? I'm not too sure. Because it doesn't feel like water resistant, but it is waterproof cotton. Yeah. It's really, really soft. And there's a lot of it. So um that's that. And then you get a small piece. I think this is for like the tongue and the ears, maybe, of that. And I got the zipper tape in Midnight Rainbow and Hot Pink. And then I just added this because I always see people on her lives talking about it, the ghost roller. So I was like, why not? It's kind of cute. So I got that, and I'm really excited because they have the cutout video. So after you buy the kit, like Brittany like emails you an invoice for the actual pattern, and then you print off the pattern and you cut it all out. And I kind of like the idea of doing a project like with everybody once a month. I think it just seems like really, really fun. And watching Lauren and Brittany are really cute, they're funny, and I just wanted to be a part of it. And I've seen so many people were a part of it with the last couple of months, and I wanted to try something new this year and just do like a group activity and have fun. And I think they do it like one or two episodes a month, and I thought the kit was well priced, and I like all the materials that came with it. So I'm excited to try that. I also bought some stuff from Georgia Girl Stitch. It's hard not to buy stuff from her. Like, she's the person on the IG page that it's hard to. But I wanted to show you um, a few things. One, I got this zipper tape. She's like killing me with the zipper tape right now. This is called the Chevron beige and white. Isn't that pretty? You know how I feel about like anything antique. That's my jam. And then I'm not a big heart person, but there's something about her zipper pulls. If you get bored and you want to look at stuff, go look at her zipper pulls. Like, her zipper pulls are giving 2025 everything. I cannot get these little bags open ever. Okay. All right. Look at these. How cute are these? I was like, oh my goodness. They're cute. So I got those. I got a pack of 5. They're the premium Cosmo Heart Pulls. And then I got a lot of these in antique because I always like handmade pulls because I'm proud that our bags are handmade, and why not? But look. Look how thick they are. They're like very substantial. Focus camera. So I just really liked how well they looked, and so I bought 10 of those, and they're the handmade pop top ones. So I got that, and then I always try to get like 1.5 webbing for something, and this one was really pretty. I have no idea what bag I'm going to make it for, but look at this. It's amethyst. It's a aspen shimmer, purple amethyst. I thought this was so pretty. I don't know what bag it's for at all. But I thought it was really pretty. And this one's cotton, I think. But it's just it's so pretty. I love buying anything from Georgia. Joy always signs her like a thank you card and whatnot. It's just, I don't know. I love her stuff, and she seems to come out with like the new webbing and zipper pulls often, and I just like having like a bulk of zipper pulls that are just like antique or silver or whatever, so that way if I'm doing a bag and I can't have like all the zipper pulls in that theme, I like having like 10 or 8 zipper pulls that are all collective one style, so that that bag has like a cohesive look to it. So yeah. So if any of you guys are watching in California later, I am like totally thinking about you. Man, I knew I knew that it was coming because I heard about the winds, but I just didn't expect the devastation. And I'm praying, I'm thinking, and I am hoping that the winds die down completely today. And just, I didn't expect that. I mean, I lived in California for like 27 years, and I have never seen a fire like that. Um, I take that back. There was one year that was devastating where it was like raining ash. Um, but man, I've been looking at the news for that. So I'm trying to see if there's like a place that I could donate to any like for the firefighters or um people that are lost their home and they need clothing or something. So if you guys have any really great places, drop a link down below, and you never know, somebody else in the chat might want to donate too. It's not good. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed my random ramblings. And I will talk to you guys all tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.